Hi, everyone, and sorry I couldn't be there with you in person, but thanks to the organizers for their flexibility. So as a point of departure, my poster takes the following typological generalization from Rudin and Rudin that languages in which rising declaratives comprise non-canonical yes and no questions also allow for rising imperatives. For instance, in English, we can say things like, you poured me wine, which can be used as some sort of non-canonical yes or no question, and that's why we can also have rising imperatives. So we can say things like, pour me wine, which can be used as some sort of tentative but invested request, meaning you do care about whether or not the addressee pursues your request. But you can also use these rising imperatives as some sort of disinterested suggestions, right? So if A asks, what should I do while I'm waiting for you? You can say, I don't really care. Pour yourself wine, take a nap. And so Rudin and Rudin claim that Bulgarian is just like English, but Macedonian, another Balkan Slavic language, uses rising declaratives as canonical yes or no questions and therefore cannot have rising imperatives. So in my poster, I look at another Slavic language, Russian, and while like in Macedonian, Russian canonical yes or no questions are formed by an intonation-only strategy, said intonation doesn't involve a rising tune, but a prosodic peak of a special kind that I'm going to call the Q peak. So here in 4, for instance, you were supposed to pour me mulled wine. I'm asking you if you did. I don't have any bias either way. So the string is, you poured me mulled wine, and we have the Q peak here on the verb poured. So I observed that despite marking canonical yes or no questions, the Q peak can also be used to mark polite or friendly but invested requests, for example, in imperatives. So here in 5, the string is pour imperative me mulled wine. By default, you would produce it with a hat contour and interpret it as a command.
Налей мне глинтвейна.
But you can also produce it with a Q peak on the imperative, and then suddenly it sounds much more friendly.
Налей мне глинтвейна.
However, unlike the English-style rising tune, the Russian Q peak cannot be used in disinterested suggestions. So for instance, if you ask me what should I do while I'm waiting for you, and I say, да мне без разницы.
Налей себе глинтвейна.
It at the very least sounds like I changed my mind mid-utterance. At first I said, I don't care, but then suddenly I had this brilliant idea that you should pour yourself mulled wine, and now I do care about whether or not to pursue my suggestion. So I propose that the Q peak realizes an operator that asks the addressee to make a move with respect to the speaker's speech act, which is appropriate in some questions and invested requests, but not in disinterested suggestions. And if you want to know more details, come check out my poster. Thanks to Tanya Bondarenko for bringing it to Sold. Scan the QR code for the sound files, and of course, email me with any questions, requests, or suggestions. Thank you so much. Enjoy the conference and peace.